What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight to talk to you about Lake Waco. That's right, we've already done one breakdown for Lake Waco. Now it's time to go back and do the second breakdown for Google Earth. I've got all kinds of good stuff to show you guys out on this one. If you missed the first video, click the link up at the top. It'll take you back to that one. Then watch this one. You'll have the entire lake broke down for you from the Google Earth side. I'm going to follow back up with you guys on the Navionics mobile app as well. That'll be our next video for Lake Waco, and then that will finish us up for the round. So while I'm thinking about it, before we jump into the breakdown, let's talk real quick about our sponsors. Make sure to go check out habitoutdoors.com for fishing and hunting apparel. Use the code simplisticfishing20 at checkout. Should help you guys out, get you a nice little discount. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it, see what Lake Waco has to offer us. Here we go. Let's go ahead and jump into this. On the first video, I talked to you guys about how I broke this down. So real quick, I'll just break it down for you over here. We're not going to drill down as much into it as we did in the first video. If you missed the first video, go to our lake breakdown playlist and you can find it there. I'll also see if I can remember. Hopefully, I'll put a link up the top that takes you back to the first video. But we've got it broke down by offshore hotspots. Actually, let's go ahead and zoom in here. Let's get a little bit closer to Lake Waco so we can see what's going on down here. So on the last video too, it looked like my icons got messed up. So I fixed all the icons. They're all correct now. And then now let's just talk about what we have on the left side. So we've got offshore hotspots. So we'll go over those in the next video. We're actually going to use the Navionics web app, mobile boating app, to basically show us all these offshore spots based on structure or contour lines. We've also got a lot of different brush piles that were put up here, little crappie condos. Those were put there by the North Arm Complex, and then Friends of Lake Waco. They also put in some additional brush piles too, so we've got all those marked. Thank you, Texas Park and Wildlife, for helping us out there. Lots of laydowns and brush to fish around. Quite a few ramps, not a ton, but enough for you to get a pattern together on them for sure. Also rocks, a lot of different rock formations, things like that to point out to you guys. Channels and ditches, of course, those are always important. You see all these green lines, those are channels and ditches. I think we also marked an area where there was some brush up here as well. We've also got lots of cover, ponds, and then I think one or two road beds that we were able to find. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Last time we started at the dam like we always do, and we worked our way up this side of the lake. And when we got to here, we actually stopped. So today what we're going to do is we're going to start here and we're going to work our way down and see how far we can get. If we can get back to the dam, then this will be the final Google Earth video. If not, we'll do one more. So let's go ahead and jump in here. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over, and then I'm going to change the date. So the best date that I remember, if I remember right from the last video, we were down in 2014, I believe, or 2015. And that was when we were really able to draw the water down. So let's see how far we can get to go down here. It's trying to catch up with me. 2014 is pretty decent. You can see the channel there and you kind of lose it. Let's see if we can see these laydowns. And it's like, yep, we definitely can. So let's go ahead and use that image. We'll go back one more just to make sure there's not something better that we can see. But that appears to be the best one. 12 is about the same. And 2011 is not what we want. So let's go ahead and just stick with that. We're going to stick with 2014, and let's start here right around where this road is. So we've got a pretty decent little creek channel that comes right through here. I don't think I have this down far enough. I think we were able to see that farther down earlier. 2012, there we go. So we've got a pretty decent little creek channel that comes right through here. You've also got a little road that's right here. So I would imagine this may go out further. So this could be a really good area to fish because you have the road bed here, as well as your creek channel that's right in here as well. So that's always good. And then you've got a lot of laydowns just right in this area for sure. In fact, it's almost that entire bank line. You can see where there's just a ton of brush that's been pushed up. So if they're on that pattern, that'd be a really good bank line to go fish. So let's go ahead and I'll pull back a little bit, show you guys where I'm at. So we started there at where the main river channel comes in, and we're going to stay on the southwest side for the most part. Now, when you get around these points, there's some pretty good rock that's right around these points. So I really like this area right in here. There's also some possible brush that's right in here. I don't know why I put brush. I may have put brush there from Navy Onyx because I don't see any brush. I'm trying to click these dates around just see if we can see. Oh, there we go. It wasn't actually brush. It was some type of a vegetation or something like that. So we'll go ahead and just delete that one because that is not brush. And let's keep on moving. So here we got a lot of laydowns again in this little pocket. So, you know, if they're pushing shad and they get these shad in these pockets, those are great places to catch fish, but it's definitely a timing thing, and it's a time of year thing as well. You've got some more debris back in here, some pretty good rock going along the edge of this right here. So all of this would definitely be fishable. You've also got some pretty good little rock points. If you look right here, you've got some pretty good rock in here and right there. And then, of course, here's all that debris and stuff that we were talking about earlier. Now, as we move on down the main river channel here, of course, this whole side is going to be pretty juicy because something's swinging right here. It looks like maybe this comes up. I kind of lose it here. It looks like it may come through here and then maybe turn there, but I couldn't mark it exactly. But I'm thinking this has got to be the river channel swing right down here. So if it is, that just makes all these spots even better. So we've got some rock here off this point. We got some additional laydowns that are back in here. I missed that one, but there's some laydowns back in that pocket as well. And then really over all these points, you've just got some really good rocky ledges. So real good rocky little points here. All of these areas have some good points. You got the laydowns there. Again, some really good ledges. Now, if the water's up, you're not going to realize that you've got that little ledge out there. Kind of like if you've been watching the Lake Travis video, you've really got to pay attention to your contours because you're going to be surprised at what you're missing because you're probably fishing right on top of it. So I'm trying to pull the water up here. Let's get it up to 2019, see what we get here. And hopefully the water will be up high enough or there's not any clouds. Actually, that ledge is right there. So that's perfect. It just stays right there. And so perfect place to fish. That whole entire bank line basically is going to be pretty good for you. So let's go back to 2012. And let's keep moving on up. Next thing we have up here, obviously all these little rock points. Right here is just a little road. So at times, this road and this ramp are actually going to be underwater, but the water's got to be up in order for that to happen. But those could come into play if the water's up. Now, you also have all these crappie condos that have been placed out here, and there's a ton of them. So you definitely want to go check those out. Even if you're not a crappie fisherman, the bass love to eat the crappie. So go out there and see if you can catch some bass trying to stalk those crappie. That's going to be a really good spot to look, right where they have all those crappie condos. Just a ton of them out there for sure. And then if you look right here, there's also a little foundation here. And I don't know how high this water will come up. I would assume it comes up into, right in here. So this is going to be submerged at some times. And when it is, that's going to come into play as well. All right, then we get over here. And when the water's up, this stuff actually goes underwater. So I just kind of marked a little roadbed here because if the water gets up enough, you'll be able to fish around that roadbed. Now that I'm looking at it now, and then after pulling the water up and getting it up a lot higher, I don't know if that roadbed actually ever comes into play. It does right there. So that foundation is somewhat submerged. Those points are kind of submerged now. And then right here, you can see where that roadbed is totally submerged. So it looks like this is probably when the lake was at its highest. So not sure if those roadbeds come into play or not, but went ahead and marked them for you anyways. You never know. They may come into play someday. And in 2012, going back to that, we got another little creek channel that comes through here, kind of like that. It's a pretty good little turn right in there. Another little turn going on right in this section too that could be decent. You've also got another ramp. This one doesn't look like it gets used that much. So could be a really good one to fish. And then moving over here off of the point, show you guys where I'm at. Almost equal with the dam now. Moving over here off this point, you've got some pretty good debris right here in this area. I don't know what it is, like a little concrete thing, but it's in all this brush and stuff. But check that area out right in there. Also check out that little point right there and fish in the backside of that too. Definitely want to go check that out. And then you've got a line of crappie condos that are out here too that you could go check out. So some pretty good stuff up in that area. Let's keep on moving down. Next thing we come through here, we just got some creek channels and some ditches to check out. Nothing too fancy. I didn't see anything too crazy over here, but we do have a couple different ditches and things to look at. Now, obviously I didn't mark it, but this point's going to be a really good place to look. So you'll want to go out there and fish around this point, see what you can find. And then moving back in here, you've got some pretty good little points right in here too. If you zoom in here, they don't have any any rock on them, but do have some brush on them. So maybe right in here in this point's kind of broke up. So really got a little point or a little hump there. So you could check that one out. I didn't mark those because I just don't see anything crazy on there that really stands out. There's some kind of an old roadbed or something going on there, but nothing too crazy. As we move back in here, though, we do find some stuff, and that is some rock. So getting over it here, got some pretty good riprap or something that's been placed there. Some really good rock right along that bank line. I really like how that sets up too. And then you've also got a nice little ramp back here, some pretty good rock over there, and then some slabs that are out here. So when the water's up, those slabs come into play. So if we move this back up to 2015, now those slabs that we were just looking at are totally covered up. All that rock that we were looking at is almost submerged. So this could definitely come into play if the water can get up high enough. And you've got some pretty good creek channels that are back here as well, and then a nice little culvert that's back here too. So that culvert's going to be pretty shallow, but it's definitely there. You see in 2012 when I pull it down, you definitely have a really good area right in there. All right, so let's keep moving over, and this area in here, just to show you guys where this roadbed was. I just didn't see anything there. That's why you guys didn't see me mark anything there. All right, so moving up over here, we do have some rock that's right around the edge of this. You can see it right there. So that could have some potential, just a really, really small area of rock. You've also got some brush that's here. And then again, you got another boat ramp. Now, the nice thing about the boat ramps is anytime you're around the boat ramps, usually you'll find some riprap, and that's exactly what you find here off of this point. So you come off of this point, as long as there's not a bunch of catfishermen out here, this is going to be a great point to fish off of, right in here. And also right in here, this riprap really is positioned well for you guys. Nice little pinch point, just a real good place to go fishing. Now, obviously, these people in this marina are going to be pissed because you're going to be in their way, but I'm telling you, that's going to be a good little area to fish around. The marina looks pretty decent as well, so you can definitely go back in there and check that out. And then on the outside of this point here, that's going to be pretty good as well. Same thing for over here. You can fish this side where the boat ramp is. You want to fish the whole entire point, but I'm just saying if you were in the way of the boats moving in and out. So let's keep going down here. Now we're getting down by the bridge down here. We see a few more laydowns down in this area. So right there, pretty decent laydown. Another ramp that's over here. This little pocket, it doesn't have much in it, but it does have a decent little island here. And then if you come way back in here, this looks like an old roadbed possibly that maybe it went through here somewhere. But you notice all the rock that's in here. There's some more rock right there, but there's definitely something going on right in this area. So you'll want to check that out for sure. That point looks pretty decent to you. It just doesn't have any rock on it. So not sure how much time I'd spend on it, but if it's a point, I'll usually fish it. We've also got some rock that's over here as well. And this one looks pretty good because if the water gets up high enough, you got a little bit of roots and stuff like that. Plus you have the rock. So that could be a pretty good little area right there to go check out. These points, especially this one, that's going to be a really good point. So you definitely want to fish that one. And then you've got some more rock right here off the inside of that point, all right here. You can see it. It goes basically from the edge of that point all the way over to here. That's going to be a good spot to fish for sure. All right, so let's keep moving down, see what else we find down here. There wasn't too much down on this side, but there is a ton of laydowns that were right here. I'm not really sure why I marked those. In fact, I think I'm going to take them out because I didn't realize they just continue to go on. So we'll go ahead and just remove this one for sure. And I'll take that out so that way it doesn't confuse you guys. And then let's keep moving on down. We've also got another little creek channel that's right here. And then back here, this looks like little ponds. Now, I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. It could just be the way the land is, but it definitely looks like ponds. And when the water's up, this one looks like it may be possibly accessible. So if I move it up to 2015, and it takes my computer a second to catch up, it looks like you could get back in here and fish around this stuff. So that definitely might be worthy of going back there and just trying that out. You may even be able to get back in here, but I didn't see anything as good as that. That looked like it actually had some clear water, so that could be a little bit deeper spot if you can get back in there. All right, so let's go back to 2012. Again, guys, don't spend too much time on these crazy areas like that. That's just me like seeing a spot and thinking, man, that could be just a good spot. If I can get back in here, I've got some brush piles. That looks like a little deeper spot right there. And this spot here for sure is holding water. You've got some brush back there too. So sometimes those little places like that can be really good. And then other times you get there and they look good on the map and they're absolutely horrible. So we've also got this creek that comes through here, Hog Creek, another one of those little ponds I was telling you about. Another creek that's back here as well. And again, if the water's up high enough, you've got some piles that are back here. And if we pull in here, I'll show them to you guys. You got some brush piles there. You got one there. You got one here too. That actually could have some shell on it because it looks like that creek channel's swinging around it. So that could be decent for sure. You got some more laydowns here, and then you got some piles, just some brush piles that have been, I don't know if it's just washed up brush or what it is, but they're right off the front of these little islands that are out here, I guess you could say. So you can check those out. But other than that, didn't really see too much back here. Going over here, definitely saw, this point that's right here. That looks like it's going to be pretty good. If I zoom in, I'll show it to you. You can see it a little bit better. And then there's some laydowns back in here by this little creek channel. Now, right in here, I marked this for you guys because this is basically all of the brush, just like we had earlier where all that green stuff was. So just a ton of brush right in here, or maybe not even brush, but just standing timber. So you've got that standing timber here, and I'll go ahead and leave that one up there because you've got that standing timber up there as well. So that stretch right there has a really good stretch of standing timber. I don't know how good it would be to fish, but definitely a spot you can go check out. But let's keep moving on up here, see what else we can find. There's some additional debris right in here. You can see it. Not sure what it is, but it's definitely all sticking out. It's right in that area. And then as we move up here, we start to find a little bit of rock. There's a little rock there. There's a little bit more rock here. There's these little spots where you have these chunks of rocks. You have some more there. There's some laydowns there. That thing actually needs to be moved over here for the laydowns. There's some more laydowns right in there. There's actually a tire right there too. So if you're just beating the bank, you guys got some stuff to check out here. You've also got some more rock that's right in there. And then as we move over here, we find some more slabs. So just like the other one, if the water gets up high enough, these things are under the water. But if the water's up like it is, if it's not up that high, these things are not even going to come in play. But you got a little ditch here and those slabs. You've also got another little creek channel that comes back here as well. It looks pretty interesting. And then as we move up here and we get right up on the bridge, right here you'll find another ramp. And then there's a ton of crappie condos on this bridge. So let me zoom back, show you where I'm at. I'm on the bridge on the south side. And you can see here that there are just a ton of crappie condos there. So that whole bridge and that area right there is going to be money. So definitely take a look at that. You got some additional brush and stuff going on here. Lots of little brush right along this whole bank line right here. You got a pretty decent little slab going on there. That could be interesting as well. Some more rock that's over here off of this point. It's very shallow rock, but definitely has some rock right in there. And then you just got some additional laydowns that are up here. So you got one there, and you got a little bit right in here. Nothing too crazy. In fact, I'm going to move that one as well. We'll just move it to right there. All right, so let's keep moving down here. As we get down here into this pocket, another ramp. And then if you look closely, you've actually got some rock right in this area. So maybe come down here and just fish the bank from like here to maybe the ramp and then back. And that, if I'm fishing in this pocket, I'm definitely going to fish on this side and really focus on that harder area because I think that's where you're going to have the most luck. And then go in here, we've got the ramp. We've got some rock off these points or riprap, whatever you want to call it. So this is going to be a good little point to fish. This area here could be good to fish as well. Obviously, this little point right in here is going to be good to fish. And then you got some more rock that's way back here. Now, this would be more like spawning time, getting way back in here. But there is some rock that's back in there that you could check out. And then this whole outside could be good too. I mean, it just sets up just like my home lake, Ray Hubbard. We've got a big, long stretch of riprap like that that's outside of one of the marinas. And it's just always a really good place to go and catch fish for sure. So also coming up here, we get off of this point, we have the same thing, a lot more riprap and stuff all around this point. So this point's going to be really good right there by the golf course. You got some more rock over in here, additional rock in this. So this whole area right here is all good. All this rock around this ramp as well pretty much goes, I guess it pretty much goes all the way up here because you've got rock that runs all the way through here. So you could run this bank line, skip over this spot, start right here again, fish that, skip it, fish it, and fish it on up. And I think you'd have a pretty productive little spot you could run there. Now, when you get a little bit farther up here, the riprap kind of goes away. And that's right where it stops, is right where I put that rock symbol at. And if we go here, we got a little brush pile that's down there you can check out. Let's zoom this back up and let's talk about these next spots. Now we've got some debris that's down here. I don't know what this is. And maybe the water doesn't even come up over this, but there's definitely something going on right here. I don't know if it's foundation or what it is, but something to check out. And I actually missed it. There's a little bit of rock right there too that you could check out. Same thing as over here. It looks like I didn't catch it here, but I caught it there. So if you're fishing here with that rock, pull over and fish in this area too. You might find another hard spot right in there. As we get through here, this is just a bunch of basically bushes and stuff like that. More standing timber, I guess. Not even standing timber, it's more just bushes. But I went ahead and marked that for you as well, because that would be a whole bank line full of just flooded bushes if the water gets up there high enough. We've also got some more rock that's over in here. So this one looks pretty good, this little riprap area. And you've got a little hard spot right there as well. So this whole spot, I like this. I don't really like these bushes at all. I would probably just stay away from it, but watch, that'll end up being the best place to fish. But I like the rock, so I would focus more on the rock myself. All right, so as we move up here, we've got more rock that's over in here. And then if you look off this point, you've got some rock up here off the edge, and you also have some rock right in here too. So let's go ahead and actually, let's move that one as well. Instead of putting it there, let's put it right there. And that's gonna put us right on top of that rock pile that's right outside of that island. So that rock pile looks juicy. That's one of the best spots I think I've seen so far since we've been breaking down this lake. All right, now we're going to move down here. We've got another little creek channel that comes here. There's not much back here, but there is a road that used to be here. You can see, it looks like it used to be Brooks Drive, and it must have came down here and went through somewhere down in here. Oops, somewhere down in here. So you've got a road bed that's over here as well, but you definitely have some rock that's right off this point. So I really like this spot right in there. That looks really good. You got another pond this year. So again, water gets up, you can get back in there. That could be a pretty interesting little place. Some more debris that's over here. You'll see it right there. Just some, I'm not sure what it is, but just laydowns or debris or what it is. And then over here, right off the edge of this point, you've got some pretty good rock there as well. So kind of show you guys where I'm at. I'm getting pretty close to the dam. We're going to go ahead and finish up this video. And then the next one we come back, we'll do the offshore stuff. So we've got some more brush in here. Again, right in here. The riprap starts about right there and looks like it ends, I don't know, somewhere right in here. So you've got a lot of riprap right in here. And then you've got this drain. Well, this drain will actually create a ditch. So if the water was low enough, we'd be able to see it. But right in here, it's going to be a good spot to fish, right where that drain is. And then, of course, the riprap's always good as well. As we move through here, we come down into the pocket. That riprap really, it runs this whole way. It looks like it's a little bit lighter there, but it's still rock right there. It runs all the way down here, and you can see that we still stay on rock right here. So you got somewhat of a little bit of a bluff wall or something going on right in here. So I like this spot as well, as far as just the area on the bank line. Got another lay down here. Got a little slab that's over there. A bunch of lay downs back in here. And then I don't even know why I marked this. This must be from a different image. I'm going to go ahead and delete it so it doesn't confuse us. And then we've got some more laydowns back in here. And then again, some more of that brush that's over here. So I went ahead and just marked it for you. Now, if that brush, that flooded brush is on, those areas that I highlighted for you, that green one there, and then this one over here and the other one we talked about, those could be really good areas. So definitely don't mark them off, but I don't think they're going to be your high percentage areas for sure. We got some more debris right here off these points. You want to check those out. Looks like little concrete slabs or something like that. And then we've got some brush that's back here in this corner too. So you could check out just that corner. And then of course, you've got the dam. So you could always run around, fish the dam. If you're ever in doubt, you could always go down to the dams and fish the dams, especially when they have this kind of riprap on them. Those are always good. Then you've got some more stuff out here. It says lay down, but I don't see a lay down. Might be underneath it. Let's move it and see. There's not a lay down there anymore. There may be one there now that, on a different image. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one off as well. It's funny what I find when I go back and do the live video. And then we've also got some additional rock that's right in here. So you can check out this rock. Now, I like this because it's different than everything else. This is a little bit lighter rock. So you might be able to find them right up in here and right up in there. It looks like you got, again, where it says laydowns. I think we moved that, rename that rock. And right on that spot is probably going to be your best spot. If you zoom in here, you can see where that rock is. It's right in there. Now it's possible there's a laydown there now that didn't used to be there. There we go. In 2013, the laydown showed up. Earlier, I had the laydowns here as well, where I had the rock. I had that laydown right there, and I said there wasn't a laydown there. Well, there's a laydown there now. So go check that out. And then where I put rock, remember that there's laydowns there as well. There's a little bit of rock, but there's some laydowns right there in that area too that look like could be pretty good. All right, and then let's go over here and let's finish right here off this point at the dam. Looks pretty good. Got a pretty good little drop here. I don't know how close you can get to the dam, but if you can get here and fish this point, you definitely want to fish in and around this point up this side and then this side as well. And you should have a pretty productive area there for sure. All right, guys, that wraps us up for Lake Waco. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's definitely been an interesting lake to break down. So what we'll do is I'll come back again for one more video for Lake Waco. We will use the Navionics boating app on the mobile device to show you guys the contours of this lake and point out to you guys all the different offshore hotspots that are out there. And I didn't mention it on the video, but definitely go check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. You can get all of these waypoints put on an SD card, plug the SD card into your graph, and you'll be good to go. You can have these while you're fishing. It will change the way you fish. I promise you. Go check us out, simplisticfishing.com. Until next time, guys, hope you catch your PB.